And welcome back. So I'm actually doing my videos. Well, actually, I have a who would win. I'm doing who would win last because the other videos are just easier for me to just talk about and do right off the top of my head. Who would win? I got to put a little more effort into. I'm preemptively doing my Magic and What If beforehand for Thursday. It's currently Wednesday right now. I'll be honest too. I honestly don't know if I'm going to see a movie on Thursday. There's nothing. Normally, I'd say I see movies regardless of whether or not I really care about them, but I just don't care about enough about Annabelle creation to make it a worthwhile review. So, yeah. Though the Nut Job 2 is coming out, I might make a consideration for that just for sheer quality of shit. That one I can maybe get some laughs out of and all that in terms of a review. But anyway, we're talking about Magic. What are we talking about right now? We're talking about Magic. And in Magic, now that I don't think I'm going to be talking about the Commander cards. Not this time around anyway. Just because, again, I didn't realize the spoiler season was starting this week. So I didn't know about Monday, so I didn't get around to talking to the cards or I didn't get around to talking about it. And then Tuesday came out, like, at that point, it just wasn't worth it. Maybe, like, on Saturday or Friday, I'll do, like, a roundup review of all of the Commander cards, reviewing the cards and how I view it. Like, that sounds like a good idea. Maybe we'll do that. But right now, we're talking Ixalan. Ixalan, is Ixalan? I think it's Ixalan. Hansel? But Ixalan. Now, every time a new plane is being introduced, I basically go over. I do a standard set of these, like what types of creatures do I think are going to be on the plane, themes, like mythology, planeswalkers in this case video. We're talking about planeswalkers, and unlike with the creature videos, or the creature video or creature version of this video, there is going to be spoilers for Ixalan based on the foil spreadsheet that got leaked. So if you don't want to be spoiled by the Planeswalkers we are guaranteed to get in Ixalan, I'm going to put up the 5 count, and if you keep staying, then that's your own choice. But I'm giving you 5 yet. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, I'm talking spoilers now. So we are guaranteed, Mark Roser said in the blocks anyway, and when we were having the 2-stage blocks, a minimum of 5 Planeswalkers was what we were getting. Occasionally 6 if it fit, but 5 anyway. I have no idea how that's going to work for the big blocks later on. Now, we know 3 of the Planeswalkers right now that are going to, geometry, 3 of the Planeswalkers are going to be in the first set of Ixalan. And they are Vraska. Now, Vraska, everyone knew. Vraska, green-black Gorgon Planeswalker. We don't know her abilities or anything like that, but we know she's going to be on the plane. What she's actually doing there, who knows, but she will be on the plane. Jace will be on the plane as well. Now, if you've read the stories, you are keeping track of the story, or story of the week. Excuse me. We had the defeat of the Gatewatch. Nicol Bolas spanked them like little children. And I have no idea what the hell this is. Sorry, there's a show with going on right now. I don't know what this is. Like, okay, Adam Scott, Craig Robinson, Ghosted. Are they dead? Is like RIPD? What the hell is that? Okay. But no, and they basically, what they did is they kind of blind walked away. Well, some of them. Liliana didn't blind walk away. Liliana actually went upon her own volition because she was actually the smartest one, knowing that they failed. They couldn't take on Bolas. Gideon was a fucking idiot. Gideon was just being an idiot. Chandra also wasn't being the smartest tool in the shed. But then again, their color identities aren't known necessarily for intelligence, though White can be, and White tends to be. His righteous justice just didn't work in this scenario. So they all planeswalk off to different planes. We're going to obviously see where they all planeswalk to at some point. Now, Grant, we won't really, because I can tell you right now, I don't think Gianni's going to show up in Dominaria. I'm going to get to all the scenarios and who I think can and can't or won't show up. But Ajani went planeswalk to Dominaria to get planeswalker allies. So, or to get more allies. So, And I have no idea why there was a snake on that, but whatever. Sorry, again, distractions. So we know he's going to show up on the Dominaria set. But after that, after Unstable, that's when the real new block starts, like the big block, big block, big block. Now, some stories will carry over to more, some planes will carry over to more than one set, some won't. But the point is that Jace ended up blind walking to Ixalan. We know nothing about what any of these cards actually do, but we do know at least some. His ultimate does something with making copies of himself. So we know what Jace is here as well, and we do have a new walker in just the first set. Now her name, if I'm getting it right, is Kamala Dino Rider. So Kamala is a white-red planeswalker. We have no idea what she does. She's probably going to have some sort of tie-in to dinosaurs. Maybe makes a dinosaur token as like her steed or something like that. That's what a lot of people are speculating. And I would be... I would think that sounds about right. At least for one ability. And it'd probably be like a legendary dinosaur or something like that. But that now raises the question. We'll get Rivals of Ixalan. Assuming we're only getting 2 planeswalkers in Rivals of Ixalan, because... that's supposed to be what the average is. 6 is usually an exception. We have to go by the average. If we're assuming that we're getting new 2 planeswalkers in Rivals of Ixalan, who are those 2 planeswalkers going to be? I know I've been beating around the bush for like about 6.5 minutes. So the way I had to break it down is basically returning walkers I can guarantee aren't going to show up. Walker, and then basically narrowing down any walkers we've already had in other sets who could return that aren't on the won't return list. So basically, right off the bat, walkers that are not going to return, the current Gatewatch, minus a Johnny, but Johnny's not going to show up simply because he's going to be in the Dominaria set. So after you take that out of the equation, the current Gatewatch, the remainder of the Gatewatch aren't going to show up simply because I don't think anyone, first of all, none of them are going to blind walk probably to the same place he's going to do. Astronomically low probability on that. But also that they said, like, we're going to start steering a little less or a little more away from the Gatewatch. They'll show up when the story needs them to. But they've heard the fan feedback. It's like, we're getting too much Gatewatch members in the set. So there might be some sets where they don't show up at all. But they'll matter because they won't matter to the current story going on. But we'll get more returning and more new characters going forward. So the Gatewatch is out. After that, let's see now. Nicol Bolas, he's not showing up simply because we just had him. After so many years, we finally had new Nicol Bolas. It was cool. It was great to see him. He's got a really good card. But you're not going to just have him carry over to the next set. Now he's going to show up sooner rather than later down the line for his overall plan, because as we've learned, not just Tezzeret is working for him, but Ral Zarek from Ravnica, who I'm putting also on this list, is also working for him. So whatever the overarching plan is for them, he's got many compatriots, including Ral Zarek, who currently lives on Ravnica. And that means that that guarantees Ravnica again down the line one of the most favored sets planes of Magic history. But that guarantees that we're not going to see Ral Zarek, at least not in this set, because it wouldn't make real sense. Likewise, Samet, we aren't getting in this set either, simply because we just had Samet. She's a new planeswalker, and she's dealing with helping her people. Likewise, Sahili Ral, the red-blue artificer from Kaldesh, along with Dovin Bond, they both exist perfectly fine in their own world. They're really not that overly considered or overly concerned with the greater gameplay at hand. Plus, they're just too recent, I think. Though, again, you can make the argument with, say, the other planeswalkers, like, the Gatewatch and stuff like that. They were showing up kind of, set by set. But those were exceptions because they were main cast of characters. Likewise, Elspeth is not showing up because she's currently in Theros' underworld. But as a planeswalker, she can probably escape, and she'll probably end up being white-black. Probably. So, and again, Xenagos, another one who's currently died on Theros, is not going to show up simply because he's also dead. He has no real reason to show up on this plane, assuming he can escape. but he also gave up his Planeswalker spark to become a god. So while it's possible to get your spark back, as we saw with Ob Nixilis, it's not likely to, because they'd have to go through a whole story about how he got his spark back and why he's on Ixalan. So that doesn't make any sense. Likewise, Venser's not showing up because he's dead. Xenagos, Soren's can't go anywhere right now. Though I would imagine Soren's currently stuck in stone in Innistrad, on Innistrad. Could he? I think they might have explained it in the story, and maybe I didn't pay attention. Couldn't he theoretically planeswalk out of that, or would he take stone with him, or is he going to just tear bits of his body off? I don't know. Also, I forgot to put Nahiri on here, but Nahiri's another one who I just don't see happening. One, she's currently a white-red planeswalker, and we already got a white-red planeswalker in this set, so I don't think that's happening. Unless they change their colors again, which I don't think they're going to do that, at least not right now. Tezzeret, again, another one who's not going to show up. One, he was already in Kaladesh. Two, he needs a set that has artifacts, and this does not look like it's going to be an artifact-heavy set. But three, most importantly, he's a main story player because he's working for Bolas. The story of Ixalan doesn't look like it's going to be really tied to the main story. Offshoot stories are going to happen. Koth is busy fighting the Phyrexians on New Phyrexia, so he's not going to show up at all. Arlen Korn also busy on Innistrad, unless we have double-sided face cards, which I don't think is impossible. I've heard a lot of people asking whether or not we could have him in this set, and I think there might be a way you could do it. Johnny, like I said, is not going to show up, and Sarkin Vol, or actually Sarkin the Unbroken, or Second Reborn. I can't remember his teamer card, his newest card. He's not showing because he's happy on dicking around on Tarkir. So that now moves us over to the guys who could show up. Now, barring a new Planeswalker, I believe it's going to be one of the following. Options are Garruk, Karn, or Garuk, as I always like to call him, Tibalt, Tamio, Domarade, Ashiok, Kiora, Narset, Ugin, Ob Nixilis. Now I'm gonna take Garruk off that list because I don't think Garruk's just gone psycho killing planeswalkers. I don't think we're gonna see Garruk for quite some time still. Though I think he's eventually gonna show back up. Karn's another. He went back into through planes to find the sources of Phyrexian oil and snuff it out. Tibalt, no, I don't see Tibalt happening really at all. Well, no, Tibalt's a weird scenario. No one really liked Tibalt. He was he's the cheapest costing planeswalker in all time. But he just wasn't a good card. Again, something that doesn't make sense for him to show up. And it kind of needs to make sense for the story why these planeswalkers are here. Domarad, again, no real reason. He's just a planeswalker, a red-green planeswalker. When we already had one, so it's not. And they've done it before again with Domarad and actually Domarad and Xenagos are back-to-back red-green planeswalker or back-to-back same-colored planeswalker, so it's not impossible. But I don't think it's likely. Ashiok is maybe, and I say maybe because we don't know where Ashiok is from. For all we know, he could be from this plane. But from what we can tell, he doesn't seem to fit the aesthetic of this plane. He seems more. Honestly, I would have thought he might have been from Theros, given his wardrobe and all that. Ugin, he's got bigger fish to fry right now with the Eldrazi figuring that shit out. So this plane's not gonna be anything interesting or of any merit to him, any worth. Plus, we don't know if dragons are even going to show up on this plane. I still believe they are. I think we're going to get one dragon, like a dinosaur dragon of some kind, or a dinosaur hydra. I think that's just a cool creature typing combination. Dinosaur, dragon, hydra. Make a King Ghidorah style. That'd be sweet. Moving on. Ob Nixilis, I also don't think it's going to show up. The two honestly likely candidates for a returning planeswalker in Ixalan, I think, would either be and Narset. Narset's busy, wants to stay on Tarkir for right now. Would be Tamio, depending on how to pronounce it, and Kiora. I think those are the two likely ones. Now, I say Kiora because that we're gonna have multicolored cards, and one little spoiler, there is a multicolored green-blue merfolk in the set. Now, is it playing out through the whole set? can't say on that. I won't say one way or the other on that. But I think Kyorka-Shulk Merfolk are going to be a thing in this plane. It seems to be, it's a world with giant creatures. There's probably sea monsters, all that as well, especially since you're dealing with pirates. But here the problem with that is last we saw her, she was kind of had the shit kicked out of her a little bit on Zendikar. She's still alive, and it might be even a good time or a good opportunity to make her an official member of the Gatewatch, kind of bring Jace back to form as she finds him. But that leads me into one of the reasons two reasons that she's not going to be a returning Planeswalker is one, we already had a green-blue Planeswalker with Nissa. Again, it's possible. They've done it back-to-back before. But two, Tamiyo fits better with that mold. Tamiyo is not an official member of the Gatewatch, at least not yet. But she's serving kind of as a messenger, a courier, if you will, for the Gatewatch, giving them kind of Planeswalker jobs, things along those lines, getting the word out to the multiverse for them. It could make sense that she actually end up finding Jace on this plane and kind of because she has mind magic too, not quite the Jace's level, but she does have abilities that do deal with some mind and lunar and stuff like that magic. So it's possible she could be a character that helps bring him back to his mental state. So and then she can swear an oath to protect knowledge or whatever, the memories, the history. So I think that's very, very, it's not an impossibility to do such things with Tamiyo. I think that's a very likely candidate. Now, I don't think she'd be a Bant Walker anymore. I think she would I think they would reduce her down to a white-blue Walker, but still, she'd be a white-blue Walker. I think that does fit the mold for her very well. Now, as for the other Planeswalker, I do believe that's going to be another new Planeswalker. That I think is going to be almost a given. We're going to get at least 2 new Planeswalkers in this set. The question becomes, and I don't know what this commercial is. Now the question becomes, what's that Walker going to be? I'm honestly thinking somewhere, because the thing about it is, with the 3 Walkers we have, a white-blue, not white-blue, a white-red, a blue, and a green-black, you've already balanced out your color pie. So whatever 2 Planeswalkers show up in Rivals of Ixalan are going to disorganize the color pie, unless one's a dual color and one's a tricolor, which could be cool. That I wouldn't say no to that. But assuming that we're just going to get more Planeswalkers that kind of offset the color pie, my belief, honestly, because I have to look back at like the last set to get an idea where we stand color-wise, is it would probably be a red Planeswalker or a green Planeswalker, because we have actually no, we probably wouldn't get. I have to take that back. It would probably actually be either a white Planeswalker or a red a green. Yeah. But it would probably have to be another white, assuming it's a monocolor. I'm going with monocolor right now. It'd be a white or a red Planeswalker, and I say that because when you look at the balance of the color pie, it goes as such from Amonkhet forward. Currently, we have, if you include the 3 that are spoiled for Ixalan, 2 white Planeswalkers. We have 2 red Planeswalkers. Now, we currently have 2 blue Walkers, so another blue Walker is possible. In fact, now that I think about it, because it is a plane that's got Merfolk, Vampire, all that kind of stuff, blue Walker's another possibility. I'd balance it out with those. But when it comes to green and black, we currently have Bolas, Liliana, and Vraska. And for red, we currently have Samut, Nicol Bolas, and Boo. And Kimala, or whatever her name is. So we actually have more of those 2. So green and green and black, I think, are out of that color discussion personally. But and again, this is assuming it's a monocolor Planeswalker we're getting. But I think blue, green, and not green, sorry, blue. I'm blanking. Blue, white, and black, I think, are the likely options. But we'll have to wait and see. So yeah, this went on a bit longer than that because I dallied and got a little distracted. But anyway, Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe. As always, if you want us to review something, put in the comments below. Let us know. We'll do a review of it at some point. Ideas for who to win, Star Wars, superhero, what if, magic, anything I do on the channel, put it in the comments below. Let me know. I could do it at some point. Again, I can't be certain if I'm seeing anything tomorrow. We'll find out. Also, I've got, or seeing anything, I guess, today. But we'll see. And other stuff will be up a little later today, because this is technically Thursday when this comes out. It's Wednesday right now. Anyway, thanks for watching, and see you next time.